Welcome, football fans, to this NFL Wild Card Round review on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And it's time for the 2025 NFL playoffs as we kicked it off with the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to take on the Houston Texans. And we would see the Houston Texans defense really step up and dominate this matchup as quarterback Justin Herbert was sacked 4 times in this game and also threw a career-high 4 interceptions, including a pick 6, as the Houston Texans get the 32-12 victory here in the wild card round. The Houston Texans were led by wide receiver Nico Collins, who had a franchise postseason record 7 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. And we also seen on the other side of the field, the Los Angeles Chargers rookie wide receiver Ladd McConkey made a bit of NFL postseason history himself with 9 catches for 197 yards and a touchdown reception. But unfortunately, the Chargers lose and will go home as the Texans are moving on to the divisional round of the AFC Conference Playoffs against the number 1 seed, Kansas City Chiefs. And then, guys, next up on the Saturday slate in this wild card round, we would see the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to take on the Baltimore Ravens as these bitter divisional rivals go up against each other toe-to-toe in the playoffs once again. Pittsburgh came into this matchup 3-1 in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens, but this game was dominated by the Ravens as they were able to get the victory 28-14, and guys, it wasn't even that close as we see running back Derrick Henry had 26 carries for 186 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns to help lead the Baltimore Ravens to a victory in the wild card round as they will be moving on to the divisional round in the AFC Conference Playoffs. What a big performance from quarterback Lamar Jackson and this defense too for the Baltimore Ravens as they shut out the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first half and gave up 14 points in the third quarter to make it close, but in that fourth quarter gave up 0 points to get the victory here. And now the Baltimore Ravens are moving on to take on the Buffalo Bills in the divisional round of the AFC playoffs. Then, guys, next up we would see the Denver Broncos travel to take on the Buffalo Bills. And yes, guys, just like you heard, the Buffalo Bills get the victory in this one in Super Wild Card Weekend as they dominate the Denver Broncos 31-7 as they get a huge victory here to move on to the divisional round in the AFC Conference Playoffs. As we see quarterback Josh Allen had a flawless day, throwing 20 for 26 for 272 yards and 2 touchdown passes. And we also see running back James Cook dominate the ground with 23 carries and 120 yards and 1 rushing TD as now the Buffalo Bills move on and will have a big matchup in the divisional round against the Baltimore Ravens, where we could possibly see both MVP candidates for this past NFL season, quarterback Josh Allen and quarterback Lamar Jackson, go toe-to-toe to see who's the better quarterback and who's the better team and who will move on to the AFC Conference Championship game. Then, guys, next up we would see the Green Bay Packers travel to take on the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC playoffs, and we would see the Eagles get the 22-10 victory over the Green Bay Packers as Green Bay couldn't get nothing going on offense as we see quarterback Jordan Love throws 3 interceptions that prove very costly against this tough Philadelphia Eagles defense that has the best secondary in these 2025 NFL playoffs, and they proved that to be a fact, getting 3 turnovers through the air from quarterback Jordan Love. And we've seen running back Saquon Barkley do his thing as he rushes for 25 carries and 119 yards. And we would see the Eagles now moving on to the NFC divisional round after this victory over the Green Bay Packers, and they will be taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Then, guys, in the nightcap on Sunday, we would see on Sunday Night Football in prime time, the Washington Commanders would travel to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and unfortunately my Bucs would fall just short to the Commanders as we see the Washington team be able to get the 23-20 victory after a last-second field goal when they were able to score 10 points in the fourth quarter. And we would see quarterback Baker Mayfield unfortunately have a costly turnover, fumbling the ball, which gave Washington a short field as they were able to get a touchdown there in the fourth quarter to get the lead, and unfortunately, even though the Bucs would come back down the field to kick the game-tying field goal, then Washington would have just over 4 minutes remaining to march down the field and get the victory in this matchup, as quarterback Jayden Daniels has a flawless game, 24 for 35 through the air for 268 yards and 2 touchdown passes. He also led his team in rushing, and running back Bucky Irving for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had only 77 yards rushing, and wide receiver Mike Evans had 92 yards and a touchdown, but the Buccaneers came just short, and now they're going home. But the Washington Commanders are now moving on to the divisional round of the NFC playoffs, where they will take on the Detroit Lions, the number 1 seed in the NFC conference. Then guys, next up on Monday Night Football, we would see the Minnesota Vikings travel to take on the Los Angeles Rams, and this game was played in Arizona due to the wildfires happening in Southern California. So prayers and good thoughts and good vibes to all those people in Southern California dealing with those wildfires, and thank you to all the first responders and the Los Angeles Fire Department and neighboring states fire departments who came to help out during this tragical natural disaster. Then guys, we would see the Los Angeles Rams dominate Monday Night Football to get the 27-9 victory, dedicating this win to all the victims and all the people in Southern California, as we would see quarterback Sam Darnold unfortunately have another bad game, as he threw for 245 yards on 25 for 40 passing and 1 touchdown pass. But we would see this Los Angeles Rams defense dominate this matchup, as they were able to sack quarterback Sam Darnold 9 times in this matchup, which is a NFL record. And not only that, we see they were able to hold running back Aaron Jones to only 48 yards rushing in this matchup. And how about quarterback Matthew Stafford? He goes 19 for 27 for 209 yards and 2 touchdown passes, including his number 1 target, which was Puka Nacua with 5 catches for 44 yards. And how about tight end Tyler Higbee also catching 5 catches for 58 yards in this matchup, as we see the Los Angeles Rams are now moving on to take on the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round of the NFC playoffs. And guys, this has been your NFL Wild Card Round review from Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And guys, what a tough season for some of these teams as they're going home, especially for my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They finished the season unfortunately losing in the wild card round, and now a lot of questions coming up in the offseason. But man, I think the biggest surprise here was definitely the Houston Texans getting a dominant win over the Los Angeles Chargers, 32-12, and now the Texans are moving on to take on the number 1 seed Chiefs. That should be an interesting matchup. And I really feel bad for the Minnesota Vikings, but man, they just came up short and weren't able to get nothing going on offense in this wild card round matchup against the Rams. So now they're going to have to regroup. And will they re-sign quarterback Sam Darnold? I don't think so after this performance. And how about the Buffalo Bills dominating 31-7 over the Denver Broncos, as now the Broncos are going home, and it has been reported that quarterback Bo Nix was playing with a fractured back since week 12. So hopefully he gets healed up, gets some surgery, and starts doing better for next season, or feeling better for next season. And the Buffalo Bills now get a big matchup against the Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round, where we will see 2 of the MVP candidates from this season go toe-to-toe in quarterback Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills and quarterback Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Guys, the NFC playoff picture looks really, really good for next week, as we will see the Detroit Lions take on the Washington Commanders at home in Ford Field, and also the Philadelphia Eagles will have the home field advantage as they take on the Los Angeles Rams. And guys, the divisional round of the 2025 NFL playoffs is stacked, and I cannot wait to see what happens. And guys, this has been Tim Reynolds Show's NFL Wild Card Round review. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave me some comments on what you guys thought of the playoffs thus far, and who's your pick to make it to the Super Bowl. Let me know which 2 teams you think will make it in the comments. Appreciate you guys, and thank you for all the support here on this football loving, sports entertainment YouTube channel, Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all. Peace out and enjoy the rest of the 2025 NFL playoffs. And be sure to tune in for my 2025 NFL playoff preview for the divisional round coming up here for both the AFC and the NFC conference. Thank you guys so much. Peace out from Tim Reynolds Show. Let's go.